Hello, let's discuss the characteristics of device-based controls. Several specific tasks are performed using graphical systems: to point at an object on the screen, to select the object or identify it as a focus of attention, to drag an object across the screen, to draw something free form on the screen, to track or follow a moving object, to orient or position an object, to enter or manipulate data or information. To do all these specific tasks, we need some devices also. Let's discuss the characteristics of all the devices. First one is trackball, spherical object ball that rotates freely in all directions in its socket. Direction and speed is tracked and translated into cursor movements. That's what the trackball is. Advantage of trackball: direct relationship between hand and pointer movement in terms of direction and speed, does not obscure vision of the screen, doesn't require additional desk space if mounted on a keyboard. Disadvantages: movement is indirect in a plane different from the screen. No direct relationship exists between hand and pointer movement in terms of distance, requires a degree of eye-hand coordination, requires hand to be removed from keyboard keys, requires different hand movements, requires hand to be removed from the keyboard if not mounted on the keyboard, requires additional desk space if not mounted on the keyboard, may be difficult to control, may be fatiguing to use over extended time. Description: commonly used with notebook PCs. The trackball is a ball that rotates freely in all directions in its socket. The ball is rotated with one fingertips and its direction and speed are tracked and translated into equivalent screen cursor movement. Trackballs are well suited for a navigational control, as in video games or exploration of 3D environments. In these tasks, smooth movement is more important than fine target acquisition. Advantages of trackball: in terms of direction and speed, a trackball possesses a direct relationship between how it is rolled and how the cursor moves on the screen. The cursor moves in the same direction and speed ratio as the ball is rotated. Many trackballs are mounted on the keyboard itself, permitting the user's hands to remain close to the keys. Trackballs on the keyboard do not require additional desk space, although the keyboard must often be expanded to allow further inclusion. The disadvantages: trackballs share a common problem with several other controls. Control movement is in different plane from the screen or indirect. Cursor or pointer is separated from the control itself. The pointer being on the screen, the control on the keyboard. To effectively use a trackball requires learning the proper psychomotor skills. Fine finger movements for accurate pointing and gross hand movements for moving longer distances. The fine finger movements necessary to use them can be difficult to perform. Over longer periods of use, they can be fatiguing. When paired with keyboard tasks, they require shift in motor activity from keystrokes to finger hand movement. Joystick is another device. Description of joystick: a stick or bat shaped device anchored at the bottom, variable in size, smaller ones being operated by fingers, larger ones requiring the whole hand, variable in cursor direction movement method. Force joysticks respond to pressure, movable ones respond to movement, variable in degree of movement allowed from horizontal, vertical only to continuous. There are some advantages of joystick: direct relationship between hand and pointer movement in terms of direction, doesn't obscure vision of screen, does not require additional desk space if mounted on the keyboard. Disadvantages of joystick: movement indirect in plane different from the screen, indirect relationship between hand and pointer in terms of speed and distance, requires a degree of eye-hand coordination, requires a hand to be removed from keyboard keys, requires different hand movements to use, requires hand to be removed from keyboard if not mounted on the keyboard, requires additional desk space if not mounted on the keyboard, may be fatiguing to use over extended time, may be slow and inaccurate. Let's discuss the description of joystick in detail. A joystick, like its aircraft namesake, is a stick or bat shaped device usually anchored at the bottom. They come in variable sizes, smaller ones being operated by fingers, larger ones requiring the whole hand. The smaller joysticks require fine motor coordination, the larger ones more gross coordination. Some called force joysticks are immovable, responding to pressure exerted against them. The direction and amount of pressure is translated into pointer movement, direction and speed. Others, called movable joysticks, can be moved within a dish-shaped area. The direction and the distance of the movements create a similar pointer movement on the screen. Some kinds of joystick permit continuous movements, others only horizontal and vertical movements. Joysticks may also be mounted on the keyboard. Joysticks are also suited for navigational control where smooth movement is most important. Advantages of joystick. Joysticks typically possess a direct relationship between hand and cursor movement in terms of direction. They do not obscure vision of the screen and when mounted on the keyboard do not require additional desk space. Disadvantages of joystick. Joysticks are also indirect devices, the control and its result being located in different planes. They require developing the skill to use and can be slow and inaccurate. Used over extended time, they may also be fatiguing. When paired with a keyboard task, they require shift in motor activity from keystrokes to finger hand movement. Now let's discuss the graphic tablet description. Pressure, heat, light or light blockage sensitive horizontal surfaces that lie on the desktop or keyboard is graphic tablet. May be operated with fingers, light pen or objects like stylus or pencil. Pointer imitates movements on tablet. Advantages of graphic tablet. Direct relationship between touch movements and pointer movements in terms of direction, distance and speed. More comfortable horizontal operating plane. Does not obscure vision of the screen. Disadvantages. Movement is indirect in a plane different from screen. Requires hand to be removed from keyboard. Requires hand to be removed from keyboard keys. Requires different hand movements to use. Requires additional desk space. Fingers may be too large for accuracy with small objects. Let's discuss the graphic tablet description in detail. Graphic tablet, also called a touch tablet, is a device with a horizontal surface sensitive to pressure, heat, light and or the blockage of light. It may lie on the desk or may be incorporated on a keyboard and it is operated with fingers, a light pen or objects like pencil or stylus. The screen pointer imitates movement on the tablet. Advantage of graphic tablet. With graphic tablets, a direct relationship exists between touch movements and pointer movements in terms of direction, distance and speed. The screen mimics the tablet. When used with objects like styluses, light pens or pencils, the operational angle horizontal is more comfortable than those vertically oriented. Disadvantages of graphic tablet. Tablets are also indirect controls creating coordination problems. To use them requires moving one's hand from keyboard and if using another device picking it up. If the finger is the tablet activation object, accuracy with small object is difficult. Tablets also require desk space. Thank you for watching.